Right, St Anne's Hill. This is courtesy of notes supplied by Jimmy Goddard. St Anne's Hill is approached at Highcroft Road. This was originally, according to Tucker's Guide in 1879, called Watery Lane. You probably remember passing the Golden Grove pub, quite impressively decorated these days. Tucker said that there is a tradition that the name refers to a considerable amount of treasure found in the house, but believes it may simply refer to the golden leaves of the nearby elm tree. A charter of 1348 refers to it as O'Manora's Grove. I'll pronounce that one. He also mentions behind it is a secluded house, Monk's Grove, formerly the property of Lord Montford, now the residence of Miss St Alban. Tucker also mentions an elm tree on the summit at this time, one of three that were there at the beginning of the 19th century. Far from the gate is the Monk's Bath, traditionally a spring famous for its medicinal virtues. It is not certain to what this is referring. He also mentions the tradition of a subterranean passage from Chertsey Abbey to St Anne's Hill, but says he has no faith in it. It could, however, be memory of a lay, and there does seem to be one skirting the southern ramparts of the hill and going through the site of the abbey. Well, certainly we found lays going through the remains of Chertsey Abbey. In one direction it goes through Virginia Water Church, in the other through a tower and earthwork at Hersham, Chessington Church and an earthwork not far from it, and, I think this must be Jimmy's note, subconscious sighting question, through a remarkable building in Ewell that closely resembles a flying saucer, where I once heard a talk by Mary Kane on the Kingston Glastonbury zodiacs. Look at the map by the gateway, which tells you that the hill is an Iron Age fort known as Eldybury or Old Fort, before it gained its St Anne's Hill name from a chapel built on its summit, where of course we are now. Take the flight of wooden steps on the left from here, for the most part. Follow the nature trail pillars around the hill. You first go through the dingle, thought to be originally a sand quarry, but now presently grassed and a good site for a picnic. There was a beacon allegedly on the top of this hill for the Armada, and in fact when they had the 500th anniversary celebrations, they did in fact erect a beacon on the top of the hill, which I think we saw the post, didn't we? Near the top of the hill is a fine clear spring, dressed with squared stone, within a little of which, on the hillside, lies a huge stone, which they call the Devil's Stone, and believe it cannot be moved, and that treasure is hid underneath. Since Aubrey's day, several unsuccessful attempts have been made to find the treasure. The belief that it cannot be moved is probably right, as it is an outcrop going down to the bedrock. Water from the nun's well was thought to be good for eye complaints. Remember the well at Dunsfold, eye complaints?
The double well at Dunsfold.
Double well at Dunsfold, yeah. And a dishonoured nun is said to be buried under another large stone called the Nun's Grave.
What about the man who dishonoured her? Where is he?
Oh, well, he's innocent,
got away
isn't
with
he?
it.
He's reading innocent.
The Devil's Stone is sometimes called the Monk's Grave. Continue past the viewpoint to the site of St Anne's Chapel near the cottage, where we are now, of course. There were excavations in 1964 and 65 to search for evidence for the chapel. In 1586, William Camden, in his Britannia, had said that only the east end and part of the window remained. The excavation revealed the site of the building of apparently similar proportions to St Catherine's at Guildford.
Ooh, this makes it a holiday hill.
It is very difficult to locate now. The notice at the entrance to the park says its position is marked by a mound, which I presume is this mound. On the 3rd of June 1334, the Bishop of Winchester granted a licence to perform divine service in the new built chapel of St Anne upon Mount Edelbury, or Old Bury Hill, in the parish of Chertsey, Surrey. In August following, he offered 40 days indulgence, that is, 40 days off your time in purgatory, to such as should repair to and contribute to the fabric and ornaments of the same. In 1440, Henry VI granted to the Abbot of Chertsey a fair to be held at St Anne's Hill, alias Mount Edelbury, on the feast of St Anne. Also, a fete was held on the anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo for 8 or 9 years. So, as you can see from Jimmy's notes, there's long sort of historical interest and associations on this hill. The hill finally came into the hands of the local authority as a public park in 1928, when the then owner, Baron Camrose, Sir William Berry, newspaper proprietor, presented it to the Chertsey Urban District Council as an open space. The park was opened by Mr Neville Chamberlain, the then Minister of Health.
Oh, wow.
Local school children, including those from Addlestone, were given a day's holiday to attend. Sir William had carried out a number of improvements directed by Mr Percy Kane, C-A-N-E, landscape gardener. This included grassing over the dingle at the top of the hill. I think you got that one wrong. Dingle's more sort of down the bottom, isn't it?
Here we are being so tender. So who starts them up and who do we actually think, oh, we'll leave home?
A squirrel's dray.
And you could actually stand there, so obviously that would, that loud.
There's an energy line, a very strong band, a narrow band running north-south, we've discovered. The energy band is about 18 feet wide. It starts just behind Jill, and it is just there. But that will change it. Now it's about 18 feet. It completely covers that brick and stone structure. The focal point of the energy is just out to the south of the well structure, and the energy is all over the place. I didn't detect a pattern. I expect there is a pattern, but it seemed to be going in sort of a swastika shape with sticks and prongs that way. So it's a solar site. And that's about all. What did you find, Jill?
I'm not so attuned to things as you are.
We'll find out what John's found in a minute.
I know that it's...
What have you discovered? How deep is it? Nothing. What do you think? I mean, we could ask questions. There's obviously a water supply, and it's probably there. So, I say yes. Another one?
Is it the central one?
put coins in. Yes, it was obviously a lot cleaner.
Deeper.
And deeper. And we used to throw money in.
How deep?
Oh.
Couple of feet?
Might be about 18 inches. I wouldn't say it was very deep.
No, not much. No,
Oh no.
But this is a stronger band.
Yeah.
So at Cookery you've got huge wide bands, and what we measured was just the segments within a band.
No, but this could be
This is another underground wall.
It's going the same way.
Yeah, but this could be another sort of connecting line.
That's strange, doesn't it? It sends up quite a wide area, doesn't it?
This tree here, that's right, the branch curls right round itself.
This is forming a leader, which should really
It's forming a leader.
yes, another top.
Oh, really?
The gale is coming along and ripped the top.
Well, what a naughty little branch. Oh no, you're you part of the side. Oh, that's lovely. That will make us all